governor finally put a proclamation out saying that to prove that you killed an Indian, that's all you had to do is bring in a lock of their hair. And so now, open it up to elders, women, children, babies, anybody that had any hair, that's all they had to do is bring in that scalp. And they would collect their bounty. And of course, some of these young people, when they scalped them, they were still alive. The blood started running down their face. And when they take that scalp, they had these little leather pouches. They put them in, stuff them into that pouch, and then they come in and to collect their bounty. And of course, the skin from the scalping turned the pouch red. And so they started calling us Redskins. They were turned in skins, to collect their bounty, and that's where the word goes all the way back to that, the Redskins.
It is illegal in the United States of America to use mascots. It is illegal in employment. It is illegal in a stadium and sports arena. It is illegal in a public school system to have mascots. And so one of the other things we need to do is to enforce the laws of this land.
The part of it, to me, one of the things that I think about is that it also dehumanizes the people that use those words, but they don't see it that way.
They're not using a terminology that we respect. I would not call my grandmother a savage. First of all, she'd hit me. You get a slap alongside the head for that one.
Just watch The Lone Ranger. Chief of the Comanche Indians says, somebody says, "Why are you fighting?" Or he says, why are we fighting? We're already ghosts.
And tomorrow night is Game 4 of the NBA Finals. But last night, basketball viewers in some of America's biggest TV markets watched some football drama. A California-based Native American tribe made its case for the Washington Redskins to change the name it has used since 1933. Chip Reed is at the team's home stadium, FedEx Field in Maryland. Chip, good morning.
Well, good morning. The fight over the Redskins name has been going on for decades, but it picked up steam over the last year and really got going after NBA team owner Donald Sterling made racial comments about African Americans. Now, the tribe that paid for this ad hopes it will bring even more attention to the issue. The highly produced 60-second ad features an array of Native Americans and ends with this message.
Native Americans call themselves many things. The one thing they don't.
In my circles, the R word is as bad as the N word.
Marshall McKay is the chairman of the Yocha-Dihi Winton Nation. His tribe paid to run the ad, which ran in 7 major markets during Tuesday night's NBA Finals. McKay is hoping to bring renewed attention to the campaign to rename the Washington Redskins.
The word Redskin, to me, I wasn't able to say who I am or where I came from because of that word and what it meant in a negative content as a professional athlete.
There's lots of studies that show the impact of having institutional racism, what it does to young people and their self-image, their self-concept. What would you feel like, and you might even easily imagine this, if an entire nation of people mimics and ridicules your religion and your belief systems by chanting and by karate chop or tomahawk chops and doing all these things that are caricatures that are negative and stereotypical and very damaging to the self-concept of indigenous people.
When children play cowboys and Indians, even the Indians want to be cowboys because they look down on that way. And so we've been able to demonstrate that successfully and get rid of all these names.
I think it does a dishonor to our people, especially our youth, discovering an individual identity is a almost a lifelong process. And when that process gets tainted with images that are stereotypical or characterizations, exaggerated characterizations of our people, I think it does cause confusion, and I think it causes low self-esteem and a number of other emotional aspects to being referred to as a mascot.
I'd like to be, to be in Redskins, it puts us all out there. Knowing that we're thought of, that we're in the social life, social world.
But Redskin is a term that it never really bothered me until the little kids started asking, why do they call this team the Redskins?
If they truly cared about honoring Native Americans, then they wouldn't be using that mascot. They wouldn't even be saying that.
It's a bad thing, and to call people names is not a good thing.
1 little, 2 little, 3 little engines. 4 little, 5 little, 6 little engines. Uh-oh, sorry, that one was a half-breed. 7 little, 8 little, 9 little engines. 10 little engine boys.
The actual people that you have a mascot for, you're not really representing.
The image they use, portraying what they perceive as an American Indian face with the feather. And, the Crayola box red color that they have. That's not real. That's not a real person, that never was a real person. And the ignorance behind the statement of Redskin, and that what that truly means and what that has represented in history for Native people is where the hate and the hurt comes from.
So we're taking that on from an educational standpoint, a legal standpoint, a civil action standpoint, and we're trying to get laws passed, but if we can't do that, we'll use the laws that already exist that say that that's illegal. You can't discriminate against people in a stadium. It's against the U.S. law.
New York City.
Washington monuments.
I mean, anything would really be better. Like, you could have the Washington legislators, Washington senators.
Why not like the Washington Eagles? Like, it's America.
Monuments, I don't know.
The Washington senators, then they wouldn't do anything on the field, and people would just feel that they're irrelevant.
I would say Red Hawks is just fine if they want to keep the red in their name. Otherwise, I don't care what that name is as long as it doesn't have anything to do with human beings.
All names and beings are sacred.
Let the people pick.